Rosvedov.
For copyright reasons. So, but just imagine whenever I say Panama, that's me singing it, okay?
I think the entire live streaming budget for 2018 has already been spent, courtesy of the royalty payments we're going to be paying out after Lee sang not just Panama, but a variety of ditties during the two-day Rosvedov stream. I guess when we record the next episode of the Poker in the Ears podcast, Matt's going to have some stories from Rosvedov.
And some splaining to do. I've already got a story from here in Panama that I'm itching to tell you guys, what I'm going to say for the podcast.
So raise from Alberto Fonseca Massis, called by both Ryan Reese and Lokesh Garg, three-way to this flop. Ace, Jack, 5, rainbow.
Garg! I think that's what I'm going to say to Lee Jones from now on, whenever I see him. Show me your ditties.
Well, Fonseca Massis has continued this flop for 2,600. Ryan Reese has folded. Garg, in. Four of spades on the turn. Board gets wheelier. Flush draw out there now.
I'm going to need a spit bucket if I keep doing this Garg bet. I can't drink this much water. My body will reject it. We saw Garg blasting off with probably nothing before. This time he is in the passenger seat.
$4,600.
Can you show me any chips you have? I don't know what that means, but I see people do it all the time.
So a second barrel of 4,600, and now the check raise from Garg. Not a huge raise. 11,600.
Yeah, small raise from a relatively small bet. Second Massis, undeterred.
And a deuce on the river. 4 cards straight out there now. And having taken the betting lead on the turn, Garg fires river. And I don't think Fonseca Massis likes that bet. 12,500. He looked visibly repulsed as the chips went in.
It seems like relatively weak body language, the way that Garg threw his chips in like that. Obviously, we've been doing commentary on this guy for about 11 minutes, so
yes,
no real reads just yet, but that sort of nonchalant chucking chips in, to me, is bluffy most of the time. I think that when you have a real value hand, you put a lot of thought into how much you can get paid. You put a little bit more thought into what your opponent might have.
Counting out a call.
And this bet is a third of the size of the pot.
Two biggest stacks at the table. Engaged in this pot. And there is the call from Fonseca Massis.
Garg says...
Well, he has an ace.
He does have an ace. Is that ace 4?
I think it's ace 4 for 2 pair, and 2 pair is good.
Not a bluff, 2 pair good.
And Garg boosts his lead at this table up to 152,000, 152.
And eventually you start smelling their BS, huh?
Hashtag fake facts.
I almost went for that.
Balboa is actually a district that's very close to the canal. But I prefer my story. So here we go. Perot all in for 14K, called by Jake Cody, who was the original raiser. Jacks against ace-10. Cody with the pair, 72% favorite. Perot looking for an ace.
Knowing spot for ace-10. Jake did raise fairly early, but you know, Jake's gonna be raising pretty wide. So I think ace-10, when ace-10 jams, it's gonna get folds a fair percentage of the time. I don't think when you get called though, you're gonna be in great shape. Wonder what the smallest pair, you'd be flipping with Jake some of the time, I guess.
Well, that is gonna make it very hard for Perot to survive. A jack high flop, top set for Cody. Perot has paired his 10, so a little bit of hope.
Yeah, I mean, there's still 2 10s in the deck, and he's going to need both of them.
Well, it's all over on the turn. We say goodbye, or rather, au revoir to Marc-Olivier Perot as he exits during the first level of day 2 of this tournament. That'll leave us with around 160 players.
Who are you, bro? On Twitch asks, can you give a shout out to my ex? Yes, we can. Thank you for your question. And I agree with user 1542 on Twitch who says you can't see the hole cards because they are dealt face down. Crucial to the game of poker that the cards be dealt face down. I have been pitching cards up Holdem for a long time now. They've yet to take me up on it. They don't seem to understand the nuance. It's a bluffing game.
You see, you joke, but do you remember that hand? I think it was from a Spanish TV show.
Yes.
Where that guy is playing with his cards up. And even though the other player can see his hole cards, he still loses the hand.
It's not just that he loses the hand. He, like, calls down with a worse hand.
Yes.
Like, I understand losing the hand, like, because you'd fold, right? You'd fold
yeah,
to a
but I
better
mean,
hand.
he loses at showdown.
Ah, Jaffe's got an interesting suggestion. Hole cards face up, community cards face down.
You have to guess.
Yeah.
And then at showdown, it's revealed one by one.
Yeah. What a sweat. That would just be called sweat, I think. Sweat poker.
So Cody, the pre-flop aggressor here. Continued flop for 3,000. Set to fire again on the turn. And once again, Garg calling. 31,000 in the middle, deuce of clubs.
Cody versus Garg. Cody firing river after firing flop and turn. 13,000 into 31,000. Feels like a king a lot of the time. Wonder if Garg thinks this long with a king he's not so sure about.
The donation from Garg.
It's probably worse than a king. Jake shows ace, queen.
Not flush.
Wow, so backs his way into the flush.
It's nice to be Jake Cody. It was Garg who had the...
Garg first to act. It feels like that shirt should be much furrier than it probably is. It's probably silky, but it kind of feels like you could go and, if you stroked it in one way, the pattern would change, and then you stroke it back again. You know, like those irresistible
yeah.
sofas
or
that
a cat.
You end up writing your name in.
So under the gun raise from Garg. And under the gun +1 re-raise from Thompson Villa. Villa.
Yeah, you need a couple of L's before you start getting all yay. Oh, and just put your chips a little bit closer. Gonna take a look at this. So pretty early position players under the gun and under the gun +1. 7, 10, 3, all spades, 13,000 in the middle.
Check on the flop. You'd expect these to be two pretty strong hands, Thompson Villa especially. You know, like Garg can be messing around with an under the gun raise sometimes, but when you are flatting or 3-betting, excuse me, an under the gun raise, you tend to have a pretty strong hand. Delayed. Well, not really delayed anything. Just a lead out from Garg. Gets called. Queen on the river.
$28,000. Garg, of course, was the original under the gun raiser. Thompson Villa, which now comes with free shuttle service to and from the airport, worth mentioning. Working it all out, Joe, in case you're wondering what is all that mouth moves about.
It's a weird, this has been a very bizarre hand. Thompson Villa was the aggressor, the original pre-flop betting leader. Did not continue the flop. Then it was Garg who bet the turn for half pot, a little over half pot. Now Garg's betting river as well.
Sounded like a reluctant call.
Yeah, we're going to see a showdown. We get a wow and a muck from Thompson. Aces for Garg.
Really curious to know exactly what Thompson Bear had to convince him to make. That was smooth. Hope you enjoyed that at home. We'll be doing that once every day. Gonna start on Preben Stockham.
So have you guys been to Panama before? Is this your first time here?
First time.
Same here.
Seems really cool.
I'll say this. I'm a Panama.
Panama, me too. No, it doesn't really work, does it? It's really hard sometimes to join in with Joe because his stuff is pretty thin, and then you want to plug into
Can't
it,
do
and
it.
It just disintegrates. It's 3,800 is the price from the under the gun razor. Love the fact Tito gives a little sound effect as he folds. There they go. He's still having fun.
Bye-bye.
Well, this is fun.
Here we go.
I mean, you know, never mind the big blind defense. Boom, straight in. 10,500 from Laras.
More reasonably sized 3-bet.
Yeah, a bit more.
Putting the price on.
A bit more sort of traditional.
Stocking, blocking. Raised under the gun, huh? So this is a 3-bet you got to take pretty seriously.
Oh.
4-bet alert.
Uh-oh. What are we looking at here? Queens plus? Ace king?
I think our ace king suiteds
Yep.
are in there. I think maybe jacks sometimes even.
Yeah. It's thin. If you're in Laura's spot and you have jacks, you hate your life. It's just
I'm not
the
sure that I
saddest
would
moment.
3-bet jacks.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Like, you feel like such a wimp, like, just flatting with jacks and then, like, just hating life when it comes, like, king, queen on the flop. But, like, I just don't know that I would make that pot much bigger with that dynamic. Because now you've got a gigantic pot and have no idea where you're at with jacks.
And how awesome to make an under the gun raise and find yourself in position.
Yeah.
Like, what a bonus.
Yeah, bone.
I think we have ace king for the big blind and kings for under the gun.
Really?
That's the read I'm making, yeah.
Wow, nice.
Putting them on a hand like it's 1990.
Good. That's what we want. Thank God you're not doing all that range merging and.
I think that Stockenblocken has ace-king suited, and I think Laris has king-queen suited.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's out of left field. I
It
like
is
that.
out of left field.
Yeah.
I think he's a left field player.
$16,000 into 48,400.
Can we hedge now? My hedge is going to be like 7s or 8s for Laris.
Okay.
Hedging has been allowed in this instance.
These spots are so, I don't even know how to describe them. It's like squirmy, you know?
Yeah,
It's so
I was
uncomfortable.
literally just squirming in
Yeah.
my chair when you said that.
It's so uncomfortable. Just like, oh, he bets 1/5 of the pot, and I have less than a pot size bet left. I'm out of position.
Queen of diamonds on the turn. 80,400 in the middle now.
A quick, strong check from king-queen suited. Oh, that didn't hit me.
Oh, check. Over to you. You bet.
Yeah, I don't think Laras has ace king anymore.
Arsenic says someone has 9-9.
Wow.
Value ACC says 7 deuce off. Bike King says both over pairs.
Yeah, I'm starting to think they both have pairs. I like that one.
And Butt Farm Poker, I'm going to send you a prize because you picked up on the Stockenblocken reference. The German game show where everything must be arranged at 90-degree angles.
Good job.
Tell me what you want, Butt Farm. You can have a deck of cards, a card protector, a dealer button.
It's a good guy. Butt Farm Poker.
Yeah.
He's a reg.
Oh, you
out
know
there.
him?
Yeah.
All right, so all of the hands I put Laraz on have gotten there. King, queen suited, and sevens.
Yep.
Well, he's probably going to win then, Joe. Well
Yep.
done. I'm speechless.
You're right, Joe. I think you nailed this one.
Uncomfortable. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh,
there they go. And a call.
Insta call.
Queens against aces?
Yep.
Yeah,
Holy
there it is.
way.
So sick.
Wow. Stock and blocking down to 1.7K. That is a big blind.
The funny thing was, I didn't say, but that's exactly.
That's what you thought. I believe you. I believe you.
It's a close decision on the river as to whether you raise with the aces there, but I think it's likely enough that our opponent has ace-queen and would call the shove, and that's beating us. There's going to be 3. So it's twice as likely that they have kings than queens.
That's really good.
Right?
That's
So
sound logic.
So we have to shove, and even if they fold ace-queen, which I don't think they're always going to do.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's blown my mind.
I think
That's a
ace queen calls you enough. Also, I'm not sure if most people can get random guy taking a shot in a tournament. I think is going to call ace queen enough of the time.
One of the biggest differences between online and live when it comes to poker strategy, I think, is ace-king, actually. And people are typically surprised to find out that ace-king, there's 16 combinations, right? So it's more likely that your opponent has ace-king than aces and kings combined. More than double, right? So it's a spot where when you're trying to figure out what sorts of hands an opponent can play, you need to weight those non-paired hands a lot higher than the paired hands.
I feel like ace king is everyone's fallback
Right.
read anyway.
Yeah.
Right? I just like always when I don't know where a guy's got, but I think he's strong. I'm like, he probably has ace king.
Yeah.
Which I guess statistically isn't like a horrible.
Yeah.
It's like in the video games world, if we weren't sure about a game, you give it 81%.
Right.
And ace king is like 81%. It's like
81%.
it's not good enough that you've overstretched the mark, and it's not bad enough that there's somebody's going to have a real problem with it. So I think the ace king is a good 81. There was a friend of mine when we first got into poker, is that every real world situation would equate to a hand. You'd be like, go on a date with a girl, and it'd be like, it's kind of like pocket tens. Yeah, it was fine, but it wasn't going to go anywhere. And it was like everything just got equated. All in triangle. Mr. Wozniak for his last 36,000.
That spot comes up a lot too online when the stacks are shorter, where here we go, we get a call where your opponent has queens, kings, aces, or ace king, and you have queens. You just got to call anyways, knowing you're flipping at best, but it's just the way it is.
Speaking of not quite a flip.
Yeah. See, I want the jack nine of clubs just for the dream.
What club do you want on the turn that you don't really hit but gives you yet more?
4 of clubs.
4 of clubs, okay. Sorry, can't help you on this occasion, sir. 7 or a queen to ruin the dream.
Ooh. Jack 9 did not get there, but he had plenty of chips.
I lost to a full house, guys, so nothing I could do.
Big Cat says, next time you scoop a pot, make sure you say no one out pizzas the hut. This is god-awful marketing. That's so bad. Are they specifically referencing Spaceballs? Even if not, what does it even mean? Who is the Hut, and how are you gonna be out pizzaed?
Nobody out pizzas the Hut.
Like, what does it even mean?
Well, you're talking
Pizza's
about
not
it.
a verb.
Look at you. Look at you advertising your pizzas. Look how you've been drawn into it, you shill. I don't know. I'm very fortunate. I very rarely ever see adverts for anything anymore. I'm either walking along like a zombie staring at
I
my
just
mobile.
read something online that most kids don't know what commercials are.
I can understand that. Well, aren't they about? I think is it next year they're going to make it that you can't skip the adverts at the beginning of YouTube clips, and that's going to blow people's minds. To not have to wait for that 5 second and then just click the skip if you're stuck. I know every time I fire up Twitch to watch someone, I get hugely annoyed by that 20-second advert that I just can't get away from.
Matt, nobody out pokers the stars.
See that? I mean, that's awesome. To be honest, that's not the worst slogan that Stars have ever had.
No, it's not. It wouldn't even be the worst slogan they currently have.
Tito has raised this up and got called. Bataru has been pretty quiet. He came to the table, had some big exchanges. Now he has slowed down somewhat. It is a king high, king 10-8. I got a feeling this might be good for Tito.
Pizza party, party, pizza party.
There's a
party.
really great pizza place down the road from here, by the way.
Really?
I discovered last night that, you know, when we're feeling like we need some cheap, dirty, local grease, because the place here is pretty.
There's
pretty
lots
swish.
of cheap, dirty local grease roaming around this casino on a nightly basis.
And you're including yourself in that.
That
aren't
is
you?
true.
Check, check, post flop brought the 3 of hearts, and now Tito, who kind of keeps making these small bets, has bet third pot.
Nobody out Tito's the Ortiz.
Staring down. Don't stare at Tito. He will crush you. And now the Jack of Diamonds. I don't feel so good for Tito anymore. The bad news is for Bitar that if he's about to try and bully Tito off, he's going to call with whatever he's got. He's just committed to this.
Yeah, just bet a third of his stack.
Yeah, 25,400 in the pot after the previous Streets of Action. Now 20 grand. So having bet a third of the pot now. 20 into 25.
Dong for Jay Carver says, why give the players mic when you don't show what they're talking about? I don't know. You were given genitalia, but I'm sure you're not using that to the fullest of your abilities.
Yeah, want us to take that away until you actually need it?
Till you need it, till you're making use of it. What are these players saying anyway? What are we talking over? Oh, that? Matt, shut up. No, shh.
No. But Joe, what?
No, quiet, quiet. Serge is mouthing something to himself, and I want to be able to see it without being distracted. It's like when you turn down the radio when you're trying to park.
I've never understood that, but it helps. My equivalent of that is just to shout at the wife, "Will you please stop talking? I'm trying to concentrate." Look at Tito smiling. That's the smile of a man who's kneeling over you. He's got your arms pinned down with his knees somehow, and he's just punching you in the face. And you're sitting there going, "This really hurts. Why is it I can't move?" And he's just, that's a face. You know when somebody's physically just doing a lot, but they've no sweat and there's no emotion.
I mean, I've been the guy on the bottom half of that before. So
Yeah,
at the moment, you're not really aware of the face being made. All right, it's a call. And
cool. Tito's got it.
Yeah, Bitar knocks the table. Ace queen for the nut straight.
That's good for Tito. That will perk it. Raise up under the gun plus from Bitar, 5,200. Cinco, 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 dos, tres. I believe it's...
I told you not to put my home phone number out on the air.
I thought that was just safe, your in-room safe combination. Just made me think of, I won't say the actual code, but the code to get into the commentary booth in the Czech Republic. The woman just went up to it, who was the card room manager, and went 222222222 and was pulling on the handle, and it opened, and I went, I'm sorry, so what is it? She went, well, I normally just keep pressing 2 until the door opens. And it turned out it was like 2222.
That's such a funny, Mitch Hedberg has this old joke where he says, I wish my phone number was 222-2222, so that way when somebody says, what's your phone number, I could just go, just press 2 for a while. All right, well, we've got a raise, a call, a 3-bet from Tito Ortiz. This is going to mean business. He has just 3-bet 25% of his stack. And it looks like your boy Serge. Nope. Neither Canadian is getting involved. We are back on the original raiser, Abdel Battar, who wants a count from Tito.
Less than that.
Yes, Donnie, that is the Tito Ortiz, who has 3-bet this hand.
Don't push me all in, you can.
Oh.
I can.
I'm just being warned, obviously, there is still a third player in. I think that's innocent. Other players leaving our feature table as the break has kicked off, but we will stick with this action. Hopefully not for 19 minutes.
If he gets much further into this break, he's going to become the second most hated Battar in poker.
Now this is going to be the question, does Jose Gonzalez really want to get involved in this? Because Tito has already invited Bittar to push in all in if you want to.
Here's my issue with Gonzalez. He had a lot of time to think about what he was going to do here already.
He could have asked himself, I wonder what I'll do if Bittar calls. I wonder what I'll do if Bittar folds. I wonder what I'll do if he shoves. And then that's it, instant. Go on, ask him how much. Unless Gonzalez has a monster and this is just some muckabout time play.
Bye-bye.
Puts me all in, right? All in?
Tito's all in.
Well,
I think we're going to be flipping here.
Yeah. Oh, man, slapped it down. Smack down.
Two jacks in the hole against ace-king.
It's the second classicist race of them all.
Like Tito Ortiz versus Randy Couture, one of these two hands has a slight mathematical advantage. I'm not getting involved in that one.
I was pretty sure you were going to say like Tito Ortiz's left bicep and Tito Ortiz's right bicep, because they were just came hoved into view.
Are you saying bicep with a T at the end?
I guess I was. I didn't mean to. I don't know why. I've not said that word in. Oh!
Jack in the window.
However.
That's right. 4 Lady Kings left in the deck. That could eliminate Tito Ortiz from this tournament.
Jump and join until it's over.
You don't have a queen in there?
One more card to dodge to stick around for Tito Ortiz.
Queen of Hearts.
Don't do it. It's all safe. Full house. Jack's
loudest clap ever. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's the way to finish the round.
Some of the advertising boards have just fallen down with that Sonic. It's like Hulk smash.
You get fart gags and Shakespeare references here on PokerStars TV.
You can't say that we're not varied.
For you or for me? Not for me. I don't know, man.
The sad thing is, it's only day 2 of this tournament. We've already exhausted all of the fish
gags?
salmon gags.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed very quickly we got through the 3 salmon-related jokes we could think of. Maybe Joe will sleep on. Maybe Joe right now is hunched over a laptop just trying to come up with salmon-based jokes, but... Wow, these guys are really going to town on the car guy. They really don't believe he's got separate house and car keys.
Seriously, who still has a car key on their keyring? A lot of car keys these days are just electronic fobs rather than actual keys. Why would you necessarily have that attached to anything?
My one's enormous. Mine's like a flick knife. You have to press a button and the whole key bit flies out. It's quite exciting.
Do you do that, Matt? Do you pretend that it's a flick knife?
Sometimes. Sometimes when I'm bored.
Do you like to quote Crocodile Dundee when you do it?
That's not a key. That's a key. No, I don't. But I might now. I'd not thought of that before.
So picking up the action here, under the gun raise from Salmon, called by Pavliuk in the cutoff. Action is now on one of our short stacks. Papacek folds. Andrew Chen in the small blind. Looks like Chen is calling. And Rosenkrantz folds. So we're going 3-way to the flop. That flop is 6-5 deuce with 2 clubs.
You can tell that some of our viewers are cultured because Jane Windsor's version of phone wallet keys is phone wallet keys glasses book. Because if you can find the time to just catch up on a bit of literature, why wouldn't you? Pavlik reacts to the 2 checks ahead of him with a bet of 10k into the 22-1 pot.
Check raise from Andrew Chen.
Sweet.
Remember the blue chips of 5,000 each, so Chen has made it 30k. Salmon, who was the original raiser pre, has folded. Action back on Pavliuk. As we see Salmon take a swig.
Why?
No, Costa Rica.
Pavliuk calling the check raise, heads up to the turn, and there is 82,000 in the middle. Neither player has pot behind. Action card on the turn, complete straight draws, flush draws.
In Costa Rica.
Honeymoon.
Yeah, I had in Costa Rica.
Yes?
Yeah.
Where?
1 hour, 20 minutes from San Jose.
Okay.
Like in some mountain. It's like a yoga retreat.
Yaco?
No, pero Jaco Beach,
Okay.
we went. It's no sand, it's like rocks.
No sand?
Yeah.
The rocks?
Chen does not follow through on that check raise on the flop. He checks the turn.
Unless this is another check raise scenario he's hoping for. Pavliuk is playing with his chips.
By the way, I didn't need to hear about what type of car keys the entire
Wow.
audience has.
Well, you kind of showed an interest in it, didn't you?
No, I
And,
didn't. I was
well,
just defending the guy who told the story on Twitch against all the non-believers. What I didn't want to do is create some crap mid-morning radio show phone-in. What kind of car key do you have?
It's because we haven't done any competitions. The viewers are just hungry for
All right.
interaction. Tomorrow,
Once we're through the bubble, once we're through the post-bubble bust-out bonanza, we're going to get you some competitions. Yes. We got us some prizes. Well, that's a call. 18,000 apiece. And we're going to the river.
man, 118-1 in the pot, and biggest stack left behind, 47.5 for Pavliuk.
King of Hearts. Chen checks, and can Pavliuk make any convincing bet on the river that isn't all in?
It would seem a pointless venture, so it is indeed. Oh, hang on.
No, he said
Oh,
all
he
in.
did say all in. Sorry, I missed that.
He
Okay.
gets the glass triangle of death, and now Chen has a difficult decision, all in to call. Clock has been paused, which means very soon we'll be drawing for the last number of hands to be played tonight. That multilingual minx, Luca Vivaldi, making announcements in English and Spanish.
Unbelievable. What a talent.
4, yeah. 4 hands more. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Decision for Andrew Chen's tournament life, potentially. I mean, what kind of insane price is he getting here? 40,000 to win 160,000. Obviously, the pot's slightly skewed by Pavliuk having him covered.
You got a set?
It
Well,
looks like
Yeah, you get a set, right? That's a setup.
the nuts,
That's a
bro.
setup.
Chen has called all in, and
uh-oh.
he has a set of fives, but Pavliuk has the nut flush, and that will see